everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Max, and today we are going to talk about the redesign of the Darkhold in WandaVision and why this does not mean Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't canon, or even I think the Runaways and Hellstrom used the same look of the Darkhold. But I'm mainly going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it is my favorite Marvel property, and it's, what I'm most connected to and knowledgeable about. So in WandaVision, the Darkhold has a different appearance. They call it the Darkhold. We know it's the Darkhold. And immediately after I watched the episode, I went on Twitter and saw people talking about oh, see, this proves Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't canon. First of all, I know there's disagreements in the S.H.I.E.L.D. community itself about this, but two things need to kind of be acknowledged. Number one, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. clearly connects to MCU events. This means that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could be in another timeline, or they ended up in a different timeline at some point in time using the monoliths or time travel, but you can't say it's not canon, but you can say it's a different timeline. So when people say it's not canon, they're saying it doesn't connect to anything. Well, that's not true. We see so many characters cross over from the movies and the show, as well as storylines and different events that go on. So I personally am still on the side of the entire show being canon, but even let's just take it from the perspective that it is in a different timeline. It still doesn't change anything. If we're going to look at the Darkhold itself and the redesign, Marvel redesigns things all the time. Look at Thanos from the end of Avengers to Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. He's like a different color. The face is different. They evolved the character as they went on. There's also other things that the MCU has changed, such as actors, and they don't acknowledge it at all. They don't try to write it into their story. And obviously, the actors thing is not something that has to be written in, but it just goes to show that the MCU changes things sometimes, and they don't say it. They just have it there, and then we accept that's how it is. The Darkhold also is a book that can change content and look based on who possesses it, or has possession of it, rather. And this means that if Agatha and Wanda were using the Darkhold, or I guess witches and sorcerers or people of that kind of life were using the Darkhold and it took on that form, which looked very kind of spell book ancient-like, then it could have that look. And in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when, humans were wanting to use it, or I guess, humans and AI robots, but, maybe it takes on a different form. And then when Agatha got it, it changed the look of it because she's a witch. So I think there's just so much right now where I wouldn't put it either way. I wouldn't say it makes Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not canon, or rather not in the same timeline or a different timeline. But I just think people are really, looking for an excuse to, say the shows are not connected. And Kevin Feige has even come out to defend the shows recently. When asked if WandaVision was better than other shows or something along those lines, he responded with, I think there's a huge amount of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans and Daredevil fans that would disagree with you. And I think he threw a couple other shows in there as well, but I'm currently blanking on the names of which ones he included from the Netflix universe. So the Darkhold design doesn't really prove anything either way. And that's where I'm going to stand unless they, say something later on. If they say in, maybe Doctor Strange 2, for example, that Agatha had this book the entire 400 years she's been around or something like that, then yes, that would prove Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in a different timeline. Not that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon, but it would be a different timeline. Phil Coulson is an MCU character. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If it's a different timeline, it's a different timeline, but it's not canon. So, I do think the redesign has to be explained by the way it changes, shape and contents. Because it really did seem like, at least when they showed the book, that it was not something that was, I don't know, it didn't seem like it held a lot of contents. And with Agatha saying that there's an entire chapter dedicated to Wanda in that book, it's like if you think about all the things that the Darkhold can show and tell you, it really does change based on who has it. And that further goes to show with you know, the Darkhold kind of playing into what Agatha wanted regarding knowledge about Wanda and power and witchcraft and other things like that. So there's my little Darkhold Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon/timeline rant. And let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with this. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.